Yeah, Merry Christmas, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Yep. And even on the holidays. Yep. Mad Monday with the OG. Y'all know what it do. You know what it is. You know how it goes down. You know what I'm saying? Like the postman. Rain, sleet, snow, holidays too. Because we got a lot to unpack. You know what I'm saying? Kind of got to show the diverse part. Because a lot of people seem to think that you know we only what I'm saying, we don't critique or we don't show love or we don't, what I'm saying, they think we kind of read the fence. No, I've been hard on this defense. Everybody knows that. I've been hard on this $100 million defense. You know what I'm saying? I showed them love when they need to be shown love. I've critiqued them. I gave them the business when they need to be given the business. Evidently, they heard me. Evidently, they heard me. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna unpack a few things, what I'm saying, this morning, you know, um, with everything, going on, what I'm saying, with this. We're gonna unpack a lot of stuff. A little more, what I'm saying, say good morning and Merry Christmas to everybody. Dirty Bird TY, what's that? And Merry Christmas. Little Shiesty, Merry Christmas. Um, yeah. E, Mr. Dunk, Merry Christmas. Ghost Peppers, Merry Christmas. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna, get in here and, what I'm saying, unpack this $100 million defense and their activities on yesterday. You know, they seem to got the message. We had a coming out party, what I'm saying, for a few people, most notably Zach Harrison. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into, what I'm saying, JB3 and his resume on, the defensive player of the year. We're gonna get into the defensive staff, and how they dialed up the pressure. We're gonna get into all that. You know how I do on Mondays, what I'm saying, with the defensive talk, because it's a lot to unpack. That performance on yesterday, it has a lot to be unpacked because some people missed it, because they was too busy, looking at the other side and hoping some things go down the wrong way. But I'll get into that Wednesday. Um, but on yesterday, and I raised the question, what I'm saying, on Friday, would his $100 million defense, what I'm saying, show up or be a no-show? Well, they showed up, they showed out, they clamped down, they shut it down. You know what I'm saying? To the point that we didn't even have to worry about crunch time. You know what I mean? So that's been, it had a different pieces of aspects to that. You know what I'm saying? That from the veterans and their leadership, you know what I'm saying, and they're doing their thing on yesterday. You know what I'm saying? CC did it. Zoe, what I'm saying, showed up. Mike Hughes, you know what I'm saying. From the veteran perspective. You know what I mean? But here's the biggest thing. The biggest thing, you know, the Zack attack packed some sacks. Zack Harrison has arrived.
The Zack attack, man. That's
Yeah,
what we doing. The Zack attack.
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
I thought his name was Scrumptious.
Hey, look,
Because he was looking mighty scrumptious on that defensive side of the ball. They
that
told me
man
not to say
came.
that, y'all. They told me not to say that, but I said it anyway. They're like, no, Mike, we not doing that. We not doing it. Merry Christmas, all right. Merry Christmas, everybody.
you know,
Uh,
that young man's coming out party was one to behold. You know what
hmm
I'm saying? But the question is, was it a surprise or was it expected?
I mean,
You
if you
know,
had K Style, it was expected because that was man. I tell y'all, man, y'all think that I'm the talent guru. K Styles find them, man. K Styles be finding these prospects. This has been his guy since day one.
hmm true statement. You know what I'm saying? K Style did call it. You know what I'm saying? He called it, you know what I'm saying, long before we, matter of fact, it was about 2 months before we even got to the draft. And he was on Zach Harrison. He was on it. You know, I'm not even gonna front. I knew the young man, you know what I'm saying, had some abilities, but you know, the way he's blown and blown the doors open, you know, when he's called upon, it's been a relatively nice surprise to me. You know, um, I as far as expectations of him, I expected his growth, you know what I'm saying, level, you know, process to be on the fast track, you know what I'm saying, because I saw him at Ohio State, you know. Um, yeah, but what he's doing, he's coming out party. The Bud had 3 sacks. He had 3 sacks.
Yeah, that like I said, it's he has that. He's always had that athleticism, but I tell y'all, at Athletic U, they don't really cultivate or really train their um, student athletes the proper way, as they call them,
Mm-hmm.
student athletes. But these are athletes. I'll just say that. All right. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's good to see a guy with that ability to be able to get the right coaching, and you see it. And this is why we always say with this teams, like, and I don't want to make it to seem like I don't believe in Ryan Nielsen, because that's not it. Because a lot of people giving him so too much credit when it, like, I keep saying this, Arthur Smith, he started on the defensive side of the ball. Like, I want to make that understood, and why he
Yep.
calls plays the way that he calls plays is because he started on the
Mm-hmm.
defense side of the ball. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to hammer that home with a lot of people. He understands defense. He understands how to attack defense. His teacher, obviously, he was on the Joe Gibbs
Uh-huh.
staff, and I'm part of
Mm-hmm.
that. But he got his start under Jerry Gray. This is his mentor. This is his teacher. So he
Mm-hmm.
understands that Dean Pease is one of his guys, his mentors. So he understands defense. So Arthur Smith, a lot of people are saying that he has nothing to do with his defense. It's completely false. He was the guy to help bring in Calais Campbell. A lot of these guys, he's responsible for this. So let's give this man his flowers, okay? Yes, his offense, isn't what we want to be, but he's responsible for this defense as well.
That rolls into why y'all heard me say, the most of y'all, you know what I'm saying, when I talk about Arthur Smith and, you know, the trending topic of him being fired. You want to lose your veteran core, you want to lose your locker room, yeah, fire Arthur Smith. Because those veterans on that defense came here because of Arthur Smith. See, yeah, y'all, a lot of people don't get the impact. Yeah, y'all are so, offensively caught up that you're missing the big picture. You know what I'm saying? You know, the big picture, meaning, you when you have a core, a foundation, you know, you're able to develop, you're able to build off of things like that, and being able to, when you put together a staff and a defense such as this one, this is something that you're able to build off of. And as smart of a man that Arthur Blank is, I think he knows this. And yeah, he's a little peeved because the struggles that we have in some of the games we lost the way we lost them. But from a business perspective, cutting this man off at the knees is something that I don't see happening. You know, um, but along with Zach Harrison, we had some good things. Some things happened yesterday. JB3 got his sixth interception, and CC Calais Campbell got his 104th sack.
Yeah, I'm gonna be big. Look, I'm gonna be at his doors, at his feet, washing his feet, like Jesus did those quote unquote uh normal people. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Try to get Calais
Mhm.
back. I'm gonna be washing his feet. All right. We need that guy back. This dude has, when I tell you he's the heart and soul of this defense now, and that's no disrespect to Grady Jarrett whatsoever. But this is what you need. You need that veteran mentorship,
Mhm.
and he is that. And like the guys just love him, man. Like the defense, you can just see it when he was on that sideline, man. I almost shed a thug tear. All right, I almost shed a thug tear watching him preaching to those guys. And if you just look at how
Mhm.
they were looking at him, they knew like he was it. They knew, all right. It was like the master is teaching right now. You know,
Mhm.
Bruce Lee is teaching right now. That's how they was looking at this guy. They was caught up and they really believed in him. So this is what the Atlanta Falcons need. And I know a lot of people is like, yeah, we need young talent. I don't think we need young talent. I think we need to bring back Calais Campbell and the young talent that we do have, for, you know,
Continue to
properly
develop them
develop
and let
them
them grow.
and let him be the teacher. They need that veteran voice in their ear.
Hmm. Now, um, with that, I wanna roll into this right here because um, Jesse Bates is compiling a strong resume for Defensive Player of the Year. You know, I don't think it's going to be a tough sale, if you will. I mean, because I get it. What Michael Parsons is doing, what been doing this year, but JB, you know what I'm saying? Jesse Bates, he different. He different. When um, the connection with him on the back end and Caden Ellis, you know what I'm saying, down now, with them two, I I know people probably gonna lose their mind because I'm finna say this, but you know, Bates and Ellis are almost uh uh Ray Lewis and Ed Reed esque, if you will. Am I reaching, or is that a good? That is a good effect?
Man, I think he is Ed Reed for this defense, and I think he deserves to be the defensive player of the year. I don't think anybody had a bigger impact on the defense than this guy has. Like we've been a pretty disciplined team, but like if you look at the impact that he's had on a Richie Grant, a Hitman Hillums, AJ Terrell, it's
A
like
Clark
and
Phillips.
Clark Phillips, like you can see the impact. He plays with such energy and intelligence. These guys know that they have backup. Like when you see DBs play with extra, especially specifically the corners, you see them play aggressive as they have. They know they got back up behind them. And this is when you
Mm-hmm.
can get the best out of your corners is when you have a safety like Jesse Bates that's pretty much a Ed Reed play. I forget who said it, but it was a player. He said he's the new Ed Reed. All right, and it was an NFL player who stated this.
Mm-hmm.
He's the new Ed Reed for this Atlanta Falcon defense and just in general because he's playing strong safety, free safety. He's all over the field. He's in the box. Like it's nothing this dude can't do, bro.
The off the field effect of Jesse Bates, early in the season, he started calling DB meetings on Tuesday, no coaches included. You know what I'm saying, to do film study, and that right there stood out to me. I'm like, okay, that's some that's some running lot leadership type shit right there.
Yeah, that's That's exactly what I mean. And that's why I said sometimes players have to be, those voices for the coaches. And there's no disrespect to, you know, a Julio in his great career, but you never heard him about him
Mm.
leading the wide receiver group. It was always Roddy White to do those types of things. Like, yeah, he mentored these guys, but like when you see Matt Ryan, he did that. Like
Mm-hmm.
he led
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
He led
Matt
the
was
charge.
always on the, what I'm saying, with the off-season program and putting up the monies and flying guys in, what I'm saying, to work out in the off-season. And Jesse Bates was on that same type of deal, you know. But let me give one more run to, what I'm saying, to our chatting audience. Um, Engine number 9, Merry Christmas. Raymond Collins, Merry Christmas. Hey, Auntie, Merry Christmas. Mr. Knight, Merry Christmas. Um, D. Coleman, Merry Christmas, man. Good to see you in here. Hey, Sonya, Merry Christmas, dear. Um, Hood J, Merry Christmas. Good to see you. New face to me. I may have seen you before. I don't know. I'm just. It's good to have you in here. Southside, Merry Christmas, man. Good to see you. Bubblegum, Merry Christmas. About whatever, Merry Christmas. Lord ADS, Merry Christmas. Good to see you in here. Tel, Merry Christmas. You all right? You all right, brother? You know what I'm saying? Everything good with
No, Tim is not. He's not okay. Right? He's not okay.
you?
I'll leave
Oh
him
man.
alone since he always talking about I'm bullying him. I
Right.
mean, even if I am, I really don't care. All right. He'll be all right. Okay, he says the interception was classic by Bates. Didn't bite on the cover route. He stayed on the deep man, easy pick after a great read. Um, yeah, I think I mean, it's not even the picks for me with Jesse. It's just like he's always in the right place. That's the interesting thing. Like that's the biggest thing with him. He's always in the right place. And you got a player that's always in the right place. He's watching film. And you get comments from coaches. Frank Wright, he says that Jesse Bates likes to cheat. No, it ain't cheating. It's called watching film. It's called watching
Yeah.
film. It's called watching film and on knowing your opponent. Jesse Bates.
Yep. Yep. See, people don't get that. A lot of people don't get that. You know what I'm saying? When you're a film junkie, you know what I'm saying, and you watch film on everybody. A lot of people seem to forget Jesse Bates has not only playoff experience, he has Super Bowl experience. Okay. He's been to the big dance. All right. And for him to come here, he saw, along with the coaching staff, he saw something in the players that was, what I'm saying, that are on this team, and and what was going on, the mixture and the building and the foundation for him to come here. I mean, that should tell y'all something, man. That should tell y'all something. Warren, I don't know why you out down the porch, man. You need to have your ass on, in him. I'm just saying. Excuse me. About whatever. Hey, man. Wish you good healings, brother. You know what I'm saying? Don't know what you did to, whatever happened for you to get that injury.
Oh, I
But
punched him in the side because he kept talking about Matt Ryan. You gonna leave my quarterback alone? Nah, I'm just bullshit.
yeah. Oh man. Hey, Georgia boy, what's happening? What's happening? Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. But look, on yesterday, we had a few things going. Wanna let's see. I had a question I wanted to ask. Um, that right there. Can Clark Phillips evolve into a every down defensive back? And
That's an interesting.
because I see some things with that kid, over the last few weeks, over the last few, he's made some play. He's made some mistakes as well, but his overall play, what I'm saying, his underneath defense, what I'm saying, and his instincts, his read and react, you know, I if AJ gonna be on that, about the bag thing, instead of the mission, and I mean, which is probably gonna be the reason why we don't resign him. This kid, this kid, Carl Phillips, I think can fill the bill. And I mean, I've seen, a lot of DBs in this league, over a long period of time. This kid, he gets it. He gets it. And he's putting in the work. And what I'm saying, when they call on him, he makes a play or two every game when he's out there. So, what I'm saying, I'm, I think he can. I think he will be. Senator.
Well, I think the thing is right now, from what I understand with Jerry Gray, also, it's like he doesn't want to become a head coach. He's
Mm-hmm.
already stated that, for where he is in his career, it's too much of a burden for him being an assistant
Mm-hmm.
head coach. Um, that's a lot to take on. I don't think people realize like you have to be built for that position. So it's like Jerry Gray doesn't want to be that guy. And I state that because obviously he's the DB guy, right? Him and
Mm-hmm.
Jackson,
Uh-huh.
um, they train these guys, these DBs, and Clark Phillips is one of their project players. So I think he's going to be here for a while, Jerry Gray. All right. You probably thinking to yourself, like, why am I saying this? Well, I'm saying this because the Falcons, and you probably heard me mention this before, but they don't have to give AJ Terrell his money.
Mm-mm.
They don't have to. Why? Because they're showing you right now they have the ability to build DBs. And, Richie Grant, he has his moments, and it's usually at the worst time, but he's improved as a DB. I mean, not to mention that, yeah, Jesse Bates was obviously, a Pro Bowl safety, but he's become a defensive player of the year type of DB now. And then you go to AJ. AJ technically sound like you rarely see him get beat. And this year with AJ Terrell too, you see him like it's been some bull. Like they've been picking on him. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like the NFL trying to sabotage him. Like he's got some of the worst luck on bull crap calls. All right, even this past game it was bull crap calls. So they don't have to pay AJ. So I say all that to say this: you got D Alford, he's improved, and then you got um Okuda, he looks good. So the Falcons they're showing you that they have the DBs, they have the ability to develop these DBs. So it's like Clark Phillips and Short could very well be that number one corner should the Atlanta Falcons come decide to not pay AJ what he feels like he's worth. And I just don't see how the Falcons would be able to give AJ Terrell, $20 million a year. I don't think any corner in the league is worth that, to be honest, especially with these rules. I think it's just dumb. I'm just gonna be real. It's the dumbest thing the NFL will be able to do. If you're not Deion Sanders, if you're not, um, a legendary type corner, it's like
Right.
you
Because
don't deserve twenty
I
million
haven't
dollars.
seen it. There is not a corner in the league that it has an effect on the game. If you're not having an effect on the game the way Deion Sanders did or Darrell Reeves, it'll be just ignorant like the Browns did to give Denzel Ward 100 mil, to do something like that.
Darrell
And
Reeves or
I love
Dion.
AJ Terrell, but 20 to 23 million a year, no sir, no sir. I've been saying for a couple of months now, we gonna know if AJ Terrell is about the bag or he's about the mission. We gonna find that out real soon. And what you just previously said about the coaching staff kind of sort of runs into this, next week because um, they did. They dialed up some surgical pressure that led to not having to deal with crunch time pressure. You know what I'm saying? Which I thought was, a pretty good, what I'm saying, defensive scheme, if you will, for this game. Um, yeah, Pittman not being available, did it help? Of course it did. Of course it did. But being able to put hands on um, Colts quarterback, what I'm saying, destroy the pocket and get hands on him, what I'm saying, the way we were able to, and and coverage the way it was, shoot, hey, you can't, what I'm saying, denounce it. That's why as a supreme critic criticizer of this $100 million defense, I have to give them a shout out for this week because they pretty much played the perfect game. They pretty much played the they played $100 million game this week. You know, um, and this is what I've been on, and why I've been on it because they've done so. Yeah, they've done so much. But they have not been above criticism. You know what I mean? And a lot of people have been on that. Well, you can't criticize them because of what they did. That's bullshit. Why not? Good play don't excuse you from criticism when you mess up. It don't. And that was a 3 game period where they was messing up. Sloppy tackling. You letting Kyler Murray get loose like he, what I'm saying, Vic esque, if you will. The Minnesota game. I mean, it had to be said. And then losing leads late, we would be in a far better position had this defense closed on 4 particular occasions. I mean, but we are where we are right now. And, if what happened Sunday continues to happen going forward, I mean, it's going to be a situation where Hey, we taking care of ours. Um, now what? You know, real quick, we got 42 eyes on this stream. Let's get 42 likes. Let's get 42 likes, people. Yeah, everybody hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit it, beat it, hit it, hit it. You know what I'm saying? And
BS,
again,
BS,
Merry
no.
Christmas to everyone. You know what I'm saying? Fred, nice seeing him. Stephen B, nice seeing him. Billy Palmex, Tony Hall, Merry Christmas. Scott Robinson, Merry Christmas. Good to see you in here. Um, let's see. I guess we can, delve into, getting some of these comments up, highlight them. One, why you hiding on the porch? You in the car or you at the crib?
Or I'm
Southside.
probably rubbing on his white booty for Christmas or
I'm
something.
just saying. I'm just saying. Uh, Southside said, and also the two games. I don't know if anyone else had noticed, but Hughes has been. Yes, Hughes is the slot guy, while Alford has been our kick returner. Do you think that's just this coaching seeing what Hughes can do at slot? Um, him quietly getting back healthy. Yeah, he that's a good question, and I agree with that assessment. Um, with you know, exploring many other, what I'm saying, avenues, kick returning, punt returning, and whatnot. Yeah, Mike Hughes is real low key. Um, he's earning his spot. He's another one that I see, what I'm saying, that could come back on a 1 or 2 year deal. Um, look, this locker room, this locker room, look, people got to understand, okay, contrary to what you may think or what you may believe, okay, um, if you're serious about wanting to build, if you're serious about having a foundation, you don't cut your nose off to spite your face. And that's what you would be doing if you dismiss Arthur Smith. A lot of these guys, especially on the defensive side of the ball, are here because of him. You want to keep that going into next year. You want to keep that foundation and be able to build off that foundation. You keep Arthur Smith. Look, man, offense does win games, but defense wins championships. That's not a question. That is a fact, a proven fact. Defense wins championships. Just ask the Giants when they rolled their 9-7 defense to a Super Bowl championship. Y'all got to understand some certain things. You know what I'm saying? They quit being in love with window dressing. The game of football is a ugly, what I'm saying, ripped jean, not fashionable type of game. See, y'all in love with the Air Coryell greatest show on turf aspects. Those were aberrations. When it comes down to it in this game of football, it is run the ball and play hard nosed defense.
I mean, Rich Warm, this is a comment too. It's like, look, they're here for multiple reasons. Like I said, it's not necessary. You got to understand, we hired quite a few guys around the league. Kyle Smith is one of the most underrated uh, talent evaluators this team, and he has a major role. He's taking a major role in the Falcons scouting department, um, ahead of Terry Fontenot. Like, people don't realize Kyle Smith is that guy for the Atlanta Falcons. All right, so he knows talent, and then you combine that with Terry Fontenot being a New Orleans guy. It's like they came here for multiple reasons, including Ryan Nielsen. Ryan Nielsen came here because of this, what this team is doing. So this is why I always say, it's like, yes, coaches being here, but we don't want to lose sight on the culture that there's been built. No player is coming here because of one particular guy. They're
Hmm.
coming here because of a culture, and this is why I want people to understand that is isn't because, oh, he came here only because of Ryan Nielsen. Ryan Nielsen didn't come here only because of Terry Fontenot. People know Kyle Smith is a brilliant guy. People know that Rich McKay is one of the most powerful men executives in the entire NFL. They know this. So, and as well as Arthur. Arthur's a young cat, man. Like I said, Arthur and I are about a year or so apart. Okay, we live about the same age. All right. So when you talk about like players coming here for a reason, players don't come in here because, oh, I want to team with my buddy. No, I want to come here because they have a culture of winning, and it's the same thing with um, why people love Bill Belichick, why they love Pete Carroll, because they know they're gonna have the best coaches, the best staff, the best players all the way around. They come here because of a culture of winning, and the Falcons are building a culture of winning with great executives, great coaching staff, and great players. So it's a number of things, and that's why I said this is why people want to go to Pittsburgh, because they build a culture of winning, a culture of good staff, a culture of good players. So there's no one reason why guys like but David Onyemata and Caden Ellis could have had, both those guys could have had more money. They could have had better offers. Like, if I'm not mistaken, they had better offers, but they decided to come here because of that.
And what a lot of people also seem to forget, Nielsen and Gray and Bush and Smith and Arthur Smith, they all have a relationship off the field.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is why this perfect storm of a coaching staff, if you will, has, come to what it, is here. Okay. A lot of people, mistake things on face value. You have to you have to see the big picture, and a lot of people don't see the big picture. A lot of people don't see the big picture. And y'all wish for the snap Polaroid instead of the film. Okay, this is a mission. This is a foundation being constructed, what I'm saying, for the long term. Y'all looking for a Ram type thing. No, we ain't trying to, have a 1 year thing like the Rams did, and look at where they are now. And losing all their draft capital and having to, have a fire sale, of all their good to great players. No, that's not what we trying to do. And I get it. I want to win. Look, okay, 44 years, people. 44 years I've been in this thing with this team. But I understand the game. I understand. I've watched enough dynasties being built to know when I see one in the process. And then y'all be out here on some, worried about the wrong thing, if you will. instead of worrying about the big picture thing and understanding the big picture thing. You're
I
not
just
gonna
know.
get you're not gonna get a complete quarterback in 1 year. You're not gonna get a complete offense in 1 year. We had to deconstruct while constructing to construct. And a lot of y'all don't get that. And yet we're still in the mix. We're still in the playing field. We're still in a line where we handle our business and a few other things happen. Hey, we can be and we are a problem for a lot of teams going forward, especially from the defensive perspective.
Yeah.
One,
What up?
Mr. Feeling on your booty. How you doing, sir?
mm-hmm.
Nah, I'm eating grits this morning. I ain't doing nothing.
Hey, hey, grits and eggs and a little bacon,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Kids and got their presents and clean up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Mm-hmm.
But me piggyback off what you said. Y'all saw yesterday a complete Falcons team missing some key pieces, but they played like they wanted it. They played like they wanted it. They gave that quarterback nightmares. They stopped their main running back. You cannot have a Madden mindset and expect to get to the Super Bowl. It don't work like that. We told y'all this. It's a process. Now, let me give y'all some insight. Look at the team the way they played yesterday. And imagine, let's just say we don't happen to get to the playoffs, right? What do you think this team is going to look like if we keep the core and add pieces to it come in next season? Mind you, I said this team is going to be trench centric, not quarterback centric. The trenches did just enough so that who? Taylor Heineke could do his job. Taylor Heineke did just enough to help win the game. That's all you need. This team is not going to have a quarterback to carry the team on his back. It's not going to happen. Them days are gone. And if we want to win, trust me, the minute the Falcons get their first Lombardi, y'all going to be calling for another one and another one and another one. And I've said this jokingly. Before we even get our hands on the Lombardi trophy at the ceremony, y'all going to be talking about, I bet you can't get two. If y'all were here back in the day when the Braves won their first World Series, do you know how long fans complained about winning a championship? And how many years did it take for us to get our second one?
Right.
Almost 30 years. So y'all want to have one Lombardi and then be another 30, 40 years for y'all see another one? Nah, they trying to build a sustained product, as OG would always say. And if we got this far with a team that, you know, got nicks and had problems and people fell off, what you think when we really get all the pieces? What do you think Arthur Smith is going to do with all of his pieces? He got some this year. He got his guys this year. What do you think he's going to do when he gets all of his pieces on both sides of the ball? That disrespectful stuff y'all saw the Falcons doing in the fourth quarter, that's going to be every game. That game we had yesterday, that's the kind of game I want to see every game going forth and every game next season. It's a process. Trust me. If you patient and you hang with them, you'll be able to say, "Oh yeah, that's my team right there."
I mean, on top of that, I think people need to understand this, that when you look at this Atlanta Falcons team, there's only two games this year where the Falcons were pretty much beat by more than two scores,
Hmm.
right? And that was it was the Jaguars and the Lions game.
Hmm.
That's two games out of the entire year, and we're talking about firing coaches and getting rid of this guy and rid of. No, if that's happening and we continue to do what we're doing, all we have to do is just continue to build upon that.
Hmm.
There's only two games this year where they was beaten more than two scores. Again, the Lions and the Jaguars. And we want to get rid of our coach. And this past game, everybody talk about whether or not this offense can do something. It's not even a matter of whether or not these guys can do anything. The thing is we kill ourselves. And this is what Sam was talking about as far as the defense, being able to get key stops at key moments. Those are the things that matter. Michael Jordan wasn't a killer because he scored 60 points. It's been plenty of players that scored 60 points. It's when Michael Jordan scored those 60 points. That was hurt you. Like you up. Oh, we coming on the run. Here Michael Jordan go. Here Kobe Bryant go. Here Shaquille O'Neal goes. Here LeBron goes. Like it's those moments. It's the Steph Curry. Like when you see Steph Curry hit that dagger, look, y'all the one on a 10-0 run the entire game, and then here Steph Curry come hit three half court shots back to back to back. It's how you score those points and when you score that points that kills all hope. All right. It's like watching Mike Tyson. Like you saw him going against several guys, and it looked like a close fight. I mean, Bruno, when he was fighting Frank Bruno, those guys were going toe to toe. Bruno looked like he was getting the best of Mike Tyson. All of a sudden, one punch, bam! It changed the whole fight. It's like Bruno was like, "Damn, what the fuck just hit me?" And he
Right.
never recovered from that. This is how the Atlanta Falcons are right now. Once they learn that how to put that dagger, and once Arthur Smith knows when to call the calls that put that dagger in them, that's when the Falcons are going to turn into one of the scariest teams in the Atlanta. Right now, the Atlanta Falcons is the scariest franchise in the NFL. Why? Because they're literally experience away from becoming champions.
Hmm.
And guess what? And to add on to what Mike said, and I'm gonna say something that's gonna really rock y'all. Do you not understand when they all put it together, they're gonna be more terrifying than the Patriots were in their heyday. They're gonna be more terrifying because I'm gonna say it again. And if all of y'all that have ever played sports, I don't care if it's badminton, volleyball, whatever, you know, if your coach grows with the team, if your team grows together, if if the front office grows with the team, if the quarterback grows with the offense, whatever, if that whole unit grows together and they all get it at the same time, they are deadly. Paraphrase. Because everybody knows everybody's assignment. The players play for the coaches coach for the players. And it's like one organism. When they get on the field, all they got to do is sit down and watch film study on whomever they're playing ahead of them, and it's a wrap. That's what you saw yesterday. You saw a Falcons team that said, "We not giving up on our coach, no matter what y'all say."
Hmm. Now we gonna give a commercial shout out real quick right here. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, those who like cornbread, collard greens, plates, dinners, snacks. Introduce yourself to Coco, D. Sloan's wife. She got a business, y'all. Coco's Kitchen and Catering. As you see right here, the phone number and the email address. Y'all get it, this young lady. She does good work. She's doing good work.
Oh boy.
And she's,
I
we're
got me
gonna
one of them
be.
seafood platters that she got, boy. That seafood platter look real good. I haven't had that
Mm-hmm.
in a minute. Oh
Mm-hmm.
boy.
Yeah, I plan on giving her a call and get me one of them, you know delivered, and all that kind of thing. But show Coco Salone some love. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody like to eat. Everybody like to get full. Everybody like to get greasy. You know what I'm saying? Charlie got some good things going on. You know what I'm saying? Look it up, dial it up. You know what I'm saying? Find out what you need to find out, and get your eat on.
Hmm. Oh, OG.
Yes.
I wanna answer a comment right here. This is a question. Billy Power Max says, "Are we going to pay off refs more than the Patriots and better ball movement?" Well, Billy, this is a confident notion. The Falcons will get to the point where they can outplay the refs' dumb calls. To be real, because
Mm.
I mean, while that would be a comforting thought,
Now
we
they'll
going
probably turn us into the damn to the 90 the federal government, and we start paying
right,
them.
Mm.
right, right. That so
Mm.
so so. I mean, really though, what we have to do is like we played yesterday. We have to play to the point where everything we do is second nature. Everything we do. We can't be on the field trying to figure anything out. We got to play. Everything is second nature. That's why we said this process is going to be painful because everybody is learning what they don't know about themselves, about they fellow players, whatever. Once they all get it together, trust me, it's going to be lights out, man. Even the refs calls is not going to matter. Like Mike said earlier, you see how they pick on AJ Terrell. If you watch, and y'all can go back and watch the film, every time the Falcons had a major push or was going on a major run on the field, they threw a flag.
Right.
Every time AJ Terrell gets physical with whomever he's guarding, they throw a flag. Anytime the Falcons look like they're ramping up, being physical, hitting harder, or being more aggressive, somehow, some way they throw a flag. But when the other team is just as aggressive or even more aggressive, we don't get calls. You had teams holding us for almost 3 quarters. They don't call it. They don't call it until it's absolutely necessary that hey, everybody's seen this. You're overlooking it. So we have to play better than the refs' bad calls. Period.
Let me
So
let me let me answer this real quick. It's like so I'm trying to keep my mad meter down because I hate this. I really hate comments like this, and you probably not saying it in the way that I'm interpreting it. But it's like when I see this, I get triggered because we literally saw Miami last night. This is the first time that they beat a team with a winning record, but nobody holds that against them.
right,
It's like how many teams did the Falcons beat with a winning record? Well, Miami beat one team, and that was Dallas. All season. They've been whipping up on trash all season, but nobody holds that against them. We're the only team in the league. When we win, it's an excuse. Yep, you only beat them because they suck. Oh, they only beat them because they the Jets.
right.
We're the
There's
only
a
team
low
with that.
lying double standard when it comes to, this team. We win, we didn't win by enough. We lose, we weren't supposed to lose. I mean, how do y'all really want it, man? I mean, we can't win for damn losing.
Well, look,
You
now
know
the
what I'm saying?
problem.
When we win, it's not by enough. We didn't win the way y'all wanted to win. You know what I'm saying? There's every kind of excuse in the book as to why or how, there's an undercover clause as to, what we do.
But you know what? Every team does not have to. Every game does not have to be a blowout in order to be a win. All you got to do is show up and play. Because if by y'all logic that's what needs to be, then please explain to me what happened to the Jaguars yesterday. Because that was just terrible.
3 Dirty, stop. All right, look, Dirty, you got to stop the bullshit. Like, see, this is see, everybody gets so mad when I say Arthur Smith play calling ain't a problem. He didn't do anything. He did the same dumb shit that he always do, quote unquote, to y'all. The same plays what he did with Bijan Robinson, getting Bijan Robinson. I told the coach guy who was on the heavy hitters, Chris Jackson. I told him, I said, watch. He gonna come out the first play. It's gonna be the Bijan Robinson. What happened? He did it.
Right.
It was the Bijan Robinson show in the first quarter. We been knew that. Every
Right.
team knows that. But what happened this time? He
Stop it.
executed.
The biggest thing is, okay, the play calling didn't change, people. Okay, the play calling didn't change. The
Execution did.
players executed the plays.
Right.
He
The
didn't
Right.
do
players
anything
executed the
differently.
plays. How many times y'all gonna keep running out here with this I hear Arthur Smith campaign and not recognize the fact that, okay, what's the other greatest saying in football? Coaches coach, players play.
Yep. That's it.
The players executed yesterday, people. That was the biggest difference.
Do
And it's
do
always been the biggest difference in every game we have won this year. The players execute.
do y'all know that 70% of the blocking is the reason why Bijan was able to do what he was able to do so quickly? If y'all listen to the commentators, and I've heard this ever since he was in Texas, when Bijan is in space, he's going to make you miss. And teams know that. So what do they do? What the defensive coordinators do? They set up to stop him at the line of scrimmage because they know if he gets going, it's hard to catch him. You see how you cannot hit him one on one unless you a real good tackler. They even said that on the game. Tyler Algier, they were running all over them. Why? Because the blocking was right. They were doing what they were supposed to do. Taylor Heineke had time in the pocket. Taylor Heineke had time to look at the receivers, like y'all say, staring down. He had time to look at Pitts and look at the defender and look back at Pitts and throw the ball and make a catch for a touchdown. He was able to make a catch for a touchdown. You know why wasn't nobody on Pitts? Because they didn't think Pitts was going to hold on to the ball. See, this is what y'all got to understand. They have their minds made up on certain players of this team on what they've done in this season. So the coaches, well, don't worry about him. He probably going to drop it in the end zone. So they ain't put no coverages on him. Now, I guarantee you the next game, they're going to be all over Pitts. Why? Because they're going to know Pitts, hey, this man can catch the ball. The mindset of the fans and the mindset of the NFL are similar. And coaches are now basically playing the games against the Falcons with that mindset of, don't worry about him. He's not going to make a play until
He makes a play.
that part. And now he's a problem. And that's what happened with Indy. Indy was that guy, don't worry about Pitts until Pitts made the play. By
Yeah,
that
because
time, it's too late.
they all had eyes on Bijan coming underneath. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was drilled up. You had their eyes pointed back there, and he got out there open.
Yeah. Yeah. And you
I
didn't
mean,
see Taylor Heineke playing skittish or scared. The Indy's first snap was a bobbled pass. That let me know right then and there they were not mentally prepared to play the Falcons. They weren't. They had some good plays. They had a good run or two, but they weren't. They were not mentally prepared to play the Falcons. They thought they were just going to get the Falcons coming out playing old ho hum. Why? Because they thought, hey, the Falcons gave up on the season like the rest of y'all did,
mm-hmm.
and the Falcons
And
came to
and
play.
I can read through there. It was you I was responding to. Okay, I'm very good at reading. I was in advanced English class. I did pretty well in reading.
Real quick.
Like we've had several conversations about you saying on you actually video documented evidence that's saying that you weren't happy with the play call. And again, this is why I state this is another reason when we look at this team, nothing really changed. We had the same amount of passing yards what we had Ritter in, somewhere between 200 and 250. All right. That right there is when we in our bag, our quarterbacks around 200 and 250 yards passing. And then our running game is around 130 to 170. That's when
Excuse
the
me.
Atlanta Falcons are in their, they're doing their best. All right.
Look,
And we
y'all just
had
got
that.
to understand. He 300 to 400. You know what I'm saying, y'all? That's not gonna happen. Okay, when you're balanced as we are, that's not gonna happen. So all that air core yell and greatest show on turf affirmations that y'all want, get over it. Get
It's not
over
going
it.
to happen. That's what
It's
one
not gonna
mean by
happen. This is ground and pound. Okay, this is you know what I'm saying.
it's
Dump
going to
it,
be a
dump it
lot
to
of
the
ugly
flat,
football with
go
this team.
underneath. You know what I'm saying. Dump it underneath, run the ball, and you're not gonna have 300 to 400 yard passing games, bruh. You're not. You're
Let me.
not.
Can I read some stats off real quick, Sam? I'm gonna
Do
read
that.
some stats off because I want people to understand what to expect from this team because our expectations is what's driving our frustration. Okay, so these are the numbers. All right, 229, one touchdown, one sack given up by the Falcons. All right, Bijan Robinson, 12 carries, 72 yards, 9 carries, 69 yards for Tyler Algier. Both of those guys were averaging over 6 yards a carry. Cordero Patterson, 7 carries, 26. Uh, in total, 30 carries for 177. All right, and then this is the receiving yards. Bijan Robinson, 70, 7 catches for 50 yards. Kyle Pitts, 3 for 50. Drake, 3 for almost 40, 39. And then you got John O. Smith, 4 for 32. These are the numbers that we look. I'm trying to save you guys frustration. This is what this team is going to look like from this point on. Now you're going to have games where they are going to be, like uh, it's going to be games where you see them pass the ball for 400 yards. We might have, but like that's not the new norm with the Atlanta Falcons anymore. The new norm for this team is going to be 200 to 250 and about 150 yards rushing. This is what this team is going to be. All right. So you can you can stand by whatever you want. I mean, that's you just being ignorant and you being stubborn. The Falcons have not, they didn't do anything differently they've done all year. There was nothing different. What he did was run the Falcons executed. You can look at it for yourself. Kyle Pitts got the exact same touches that he had all season. Guess what? He made big plays on those. He scored a touchdown on that. He's finally getting into the end zone. Everybody's touching the ball. This is what this offense is doing. He did nothing different. The offensive line, again, you see Storm Norton, you see Bergeron, all these guys. All these guys are doing the exact same thing. There's nothing that changed except for execution. So if you want to stand by the fact that he called a better job, you more than like. I mean, you're more than welcome to do that, but it's not true. He didn't change anything. You saw the same thing. We seen Cordero Patterson in a while. In a while, we seen that before. We seen Muhammad Sanu. We've seen all these types of things. We see Cordero Hodge in the Wildcat. Yesterday we saw these again. He's running the exact same plays with different personnel. There's nothing different in his play calling. It's the execution, people. This is what, like I said, you can I can sit down, I can literally sit down and show you word. As a matter of fact, I got a perfect. I'm gonna put that out tomorrow, and I'm gonna show you tomorrow. I can promise you that this Falcon team didn't do anything differently. All right, I can show you because on one play, the touchdown play, we've seen that before. The touchdown play where Kyle Pitts was on that corner. Y'all remember that same play where he ran last week on the sidelines? It was the exact same play. This time he called it. He called that play in the middle of the field. All right. He called that play in the middle of the field. Kyle Pitts called it that corner route on the end, on the outside last week. This time he called that play a little closer to the end zone and he ended up catching the touchdown. It's the same exact play. It's when and where he's calling these plays. So it's all about the execution when you call these plays and how you set them up. These are the same plays over and over again. And like I said, I can prove this to you. I'm not just saying that. Coach and I can prove this to you. Sam and I can prove you to this. Nothing different, people. It's execution.
As the therapist would say, rookies are gonna do rookie things, Red Swan. I understand, what I'm saying, your comment. And yeah, that was key. Okay. But if you as an observer and as a fan don't recognize the entire overall issue with Desmond Ritter, then it's going to be fruitless for people to understand anything else. People seem to forget. Okay, Matt Ryan casts a large shadow over this squad, over this organization. Okay, and as a rookie, especially at that position, at the quarterback position, coming in wanting to do better and prove that he belonged and prove that he could, what I'm saying, be here. It has caused him to try to do too much and, what I'm saying, and make, mistakes going, in his evolution. Okay. He is not a bad kid. He is not a bad football player. He is a guy that's trying to, get in, be in and show that he can be. The thing is, he got to understand he has to make his own footprint instead of trying to fill in shoes that he can't fill. People don't understand that. They're constantly saying that he ain't it. The only thing that's wrong with that kid is that there's too much on his mind and on his shoulders.
As far as the Desmond Ritter and with Red Swarm is concerned, it's like we've been saying this all year. I don't have to admit anything I've been saying. It's just a lot of people don't watch most of our live shows where we say this. We've been stating all along that Desmond Ritter isn't helping himself, and Arthur Smith in certain situations isn't helping him. You can't, like, as a quarterback, the worst thing that you can do is turn the ball over. You can't turn the ball over. You got to take care of the ball as a quarterback. That's a cardinal sin for a quarterback to turn the ball over the way. And it's not the interceptions that's killing him. It's really the fumbles and not letting it rip. As a quarterback, you got to be decisive. You can't think twice. You can't think two, three times. You got to let it rip. So, and the fact that Taylor Heineke um play didn't make errors. He made a ton of errors yesterday, throwing errors. Thing is, he got away with them. His look was a little bit better than Desmond Ritter. right now, Desmond Ritter just look is just in the crapper. He had a lot the bad snap where he dropped the ball. He almost threw like two or three pick sixes interceptions. I want to say pick six, but he almost threw two picks. But you know the placement, well, the receiver and them catching the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like they hip it out. So like the thing is with him, you know he got lucky. So like I said, at the end of the day, man, it's like sometimes it just come down to luck. And like I said, 330, you can deny all you want to, but we're not saying the same thing. You literally said he tweaked something. It wasn't a tweak. He been running the same plays. The same plays, the same he ran the exact same play the
and,
cow
and,
did.
and, and he's tweaking he himself is tweaking the same pieces of BS. Okay, y'all avoid the player execution aspect. Y'all avoid it like the damn plague. You
Yeah,
stop
it's
avoiding it. If
execution.
when players execute, when players on the play that are called and they execute, it keeps it from being a bad play.
Right.
Okay,
I was
the players on the
Sam,
bad
that's
when
it
the
right
players
there.
don't damn execute, man. Y'all need to stop that. Stop that. Stop it. Stop it. Don't let your haterism of Arthur Smith influence your insecure understanding of what player execution is really is. Just stop it.
I gotta say, can make another comparison. Does anybody know, like, let's keep it real. I got a question for everybody in the chat. What do you think? Do you think that Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens do anything differently offensively? Have they really changed that offense?
They're
I,
running
I
the
think
Georgia Bulldogs offense.
they're running the up tempo version of the RPO. They're doing nothing different. They're executing. Lamar got almost the exact same type of passing yards he's always have. They're running the same offense. The thing is, they put like what he did, the offense coordinator, um, Monk, like all he's doing is running a much more up. He's giving Lamar Jackson plays that he like, and he has the ability of the freedom to run up tempo now. But he's running the exact same plays he's always run, and this is why I would say. But the thing is, with that, they're executing, so that's why the offense look a lot better. So it comes a matter of execution. A lot of time, the lack of execution can make you look a lot worse than what it actually is.
Man, people.
Let,
Okay.
let me let me another thing, Sam. But let me say this. So my thing is let me ask everybody this too. Like everybody keep talking about drawing better plays. What should he do more of? Everybody keeps saying he need to draw up better plays. Okay, what are those plays he need to draw? Falcon need to run up tempo. I mean, up tempo, it does nothing for the defense, for our defense. What if we run up tempo and the Falcons go three and out, and the defense got to get right back on the field? So is that really a wise? Like, is that really something that we need? Like, is that really a wise adjustment to run up tempo? Because if it doesn't work, the defense, like you said, the defense right back on the field.
Mhm. Red Swarm. I'm gonna say this to that. Um, a lot of people can't see past the turnovers. There has been multitude of progressions, you know what I'm saying, in this offense. I mean, you don't throw for 300, plus yards on accident, bro. um you don't run for 200 plus yards in a game on accident. Okay. Um, you don't hold teams without a touchdown for, what I'm saying, 2, 3 games on accident. So yes, there have been progress. There have been a multitude of progress. But see, people can't get past the missteps, the mistakes, and the losses. You know what I'm saying? Again, like I said earlier, you can't see the big picture because you're too busy looking at the Polaroid of the temporary failure.
Okay, another thing too, we got to debunk this too because people saying that he's not getting players the ball. All right, his stars the ball. Okay, so we're gonna look at some stats. All right, y'all say y'all love stats too.
Hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna look at their numbers. Uh, and I really love when people say, "Well, there should be no reason why." Well, we literally seeing in Buffalo right now a guy that was used to getting 100 catches a season, and he 100 catches a game, 100 yards a game, and he's not getting that. But Buffalo is going on a tear offensively. Anybody want to tell me why that is happening? Okay, why that is happening? All right, and you look at the Falcons. All right, you got Bijan Robinson with 48 catches, Kyle Pitts 50, Johnu 47, Drake London 61. It's like he's getting the guys the ball. All those guys have 40 plus catches. We got four players on this team for 40 plus catches. And then you look at the rushing yards for this team. We got Bijan Robinson with 873, Tyler Algier 600. You have Ritter and Cordero Patterson and Ritter was closing on 200 yards, and Cordero Patterson has 161 this year. And then you have Bijan Robinson with 4 rushing touchdown, Tyler with 4, Ritter with 5. Uh, so that is 15 touchdowns and uh, well over 19. Hold on, 1,900 yards rushing. And we're talking about he's not sharing the ball. The problem is he's not getting Kyle pitched the ball the way that y'all think. Let's keep that real. This isn't whether or not this offense is inefficient. The fact of the matter is he's not turning Kyle Pitts into this mega superstar that y'all think he is. He's getting everybody ball. He's getting everybody involved. So the notion that he's not getting the ball, and then you look at around the league when you have Stephon Diggs, like the last 5 or 6 games or so, this guy has yet to go over 100 yards receiving, and he's not crying. Why? Because they're winning. You see what I'm saying? So what really matters is it the fact that y'all don't like that he's not getting Kyle Pitts the ball more, or he isn't sharing the ball? Because it's like I don't really see any issue with this offense outside of Kyle Pitts don't have 70, 80 catches this year. That's the only thing that I see when I look at the offense. The offense, 1,900 yards rushing. We got 4 receivers over 40 plus catches in the season. Like, I mean, what what more? What are you looking for? Like, what are you expecting? Because this is why I ask these questions because like you don't know what you want when it comes down to this offense. Yet you want more.
Yep. Yeah, yep.
Again,
You
Alex.
want
Again, everybody. No, everybody. I asked two questions. What should he do differently with his offense? And what's the issue? Nobody wants to answer it because you don't know. Because your expectations is what Sam was talking about. Is y'all want to see five wide receivers with 100 catches on the season? That's not, bro. That's not realistic. What do you guys want from Arthur? That's answer that question for us, and we will stop saying that you quote unquote are wrong. And Red Swan, even this is false. Even this is false. It's not the improvement that you want. Okay. And the reason why I can say that is because again, we go back to the numbers. All right. The Falcons
that's
are
real
one of
talk.
those guys, another one of those. My bad, Sam. But like you look at these numbers, like what are you expecting from the offense? They're moving the ball. They run the ball well. They're one of the best offensive lines, and their passing game has improved. And we're seeing improvement on the defense side of the ball, the offensive side of the ball. We're using all. How many teams in the NFL has three running backs that they have to satisfy?
You want a picture of regression, bro? Look at Buffalo. You want a picture of regression? Look at Jacksonville. Okay. See, y'all, your
I mean,
you're
it
such an
is false.
expectations on Clown St. Helens,
You
and then
said there
when
is
we climb
improvement.
Stone Mountain, it's not enough for you.
See, the thing is, you said Arthur Blank said he looking for improvement, but there has been improvement, but not in the way that you wanted. You see what we're saying? You got to understand the words that you choose to use and the expectations. The improvement isn't the way that you want it, but you can't say that this offense hasn't made improvement. You can't say that this team hasn't made improvements. We're literally talking about one of the best defenses in the league. And the Falcons, offensively, are they where we want them to be? Where we expected them to be? Probably not. But there has been improvement. One, I can tell you right off the bat. Look at this offensive line. Right tackle, right guard, center, left left guard, left tackle yesterday. We've lost both of those guys, like almost every starter in the last couple of weeks, and these guys have continuously played well. So we're talking about the offense. Like, yes, it has improved, but not the way that you expect. And I think that's the disconnect for a lot of content creators, just fans in this entirety. The Falcons are improving in the manner that, as a fan, we want to see. Our offense is ranked where our defense ranked league wise. So anybody want to talk about the fact that turnovers have been an issue? Want to talk about the turnovers? I mean, from everybody. The team has a lot of things to improve. But to say that this team has regressed is just not true. To say this team hasn't improved just isn't true. Again, everybody keep telling me what their expectations are, but you're saying that the offense have ranked lower. Well, if you look around the league offensively, the offensive numbers in its entirety have been regressing ever since last year. The points per game, as far as each team, has gone down. This is something that Rich McKay started. He stated last year that offensively, the numbers, teams are averaging less than 20. It was less than 20, almost at 21 points a game. The league average was 21 points a game. So, and that number has been dwindling ever since last season. So, offensively around the league, this has been the issue. So, this is what we mean by our expectations for our team, and then you look at around the league, understanding that this is a league wide issue and not the Atlanta Falcons issue. So
This is true.
it just goes to your expectations. So if you have a certain expectation for the Atlanta Falcons, thinking that they would be a top 15 or a top 10 offense, then yes, you are correct. But when you compare them to the entire league, you can't say even compare themselves. It's hard to compare the Atlanta Falcons when this team has been together less than less than a month, like this, less than a year. This team hasn't been together. So the idea that this team needs to improve, just like I don't see how you can say that with this team being together less than a year that they haven't improved. I mean, how can you say that a team that only been together a year hasn't improved? They haven't been together. So I think the idea of our expectations of this team improving is misguided because you're directly putting the onus on Arthur Smith on the players versus Arthur Smith. I think your expectations is more so, and a lot of fans' expectations as far as the offense is concerned is directly tied to Arthur Smith versus this team. And that's where you need to separate the two. Because if you look at Arthur Smith and say, well, Arthur Smith offenses is regressing. Okay, I can agree there. But when you look at the players and to say the players aren't improving, that's not true. These players are getting better as the season goes on. We literally talking about Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, offensive line. Like these guys are improving. But when you look at the offense in its entirety, how can you say there hasn't been any improvement? They've only been together 9 months.
Facts. Those are facts. Denied facts. The concept of the stuff that people don't want to talk about. The actual time together. This particular season, people keep wanting to say, talk about, well, we went 7-10. Okay, all right, yeah. We've had three different personnel groups, 3 straight years. But you're all demonstrably all upset about what's going on this year. Okay, you have an entire rookie growth process going on this year. This year. okay, and to have the Super Bowl aspirations, if you will, this year because of the talent we accumulated is just flat out delusional. To have perfect aspirations with what 14, 17 rookies. And when I say that, I mean first year guys, second year guys, third year guys, because your growth to expectations have to be realistic. They have to be realistic. And then you putting them together and expecting them to play together, you know what I'm saying, with no hiccups, no bumps, no problems. Come on, man. Yeah, bro, this
I
this ain't
mean, Kenneth,
this ain't
this is
Madden.
not a true statement. The offensive line. If you look at the wide receiving core, the core players for the most part have been. We're talking about. See, you can't. I think what fans want to do, and I wouldn't just say fans. I think just people want to do in general is because X amount of players, X amount of coaches have been together. That every all these guys are supposed to just you put them all in one box. We want to put because Arthur, Kyle Pitts, like Kyle Pitts he's the longest tenured receiver on this team.
The phony unicorn.
But hold on, let me explain. I want to get that in shots. Like I say, I really want people to understand this point. Kyle Pitts is the longest tenured guy um, on this offense, and then you look at Tyler Algier, Drake London, and then you look at Fitzpatrick, who hasn't seen a lot. Um, you see Dahlman, um, Jake Matthews, but he's not an older guy. He's an older guy, but he's not a younger guy. And then you look at Desmond Ritter, who hasn't played, all, you know, um, all 2 years that he's been there. A lot of these guys haven't had the same time to play together. You know what I'm saying? They haven't had a lot of time to play together. And see, this is what I'm trying to relay to people. It's like we're 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 putting expectations for Arthur Smith on these players, and I think that's where we're going wrong. Is because Arthur, being that he is the leader, being that he is the head coach, he should already have things, you know, at a certain level. And I think that's especially for a team as young. I think the Falcons have like the second or if not the youngest squad in the NFL. They're the youngest team in the NFL as far as the offense is concerned. All right, they have the youngest squad. So these guys haven't been together and they haven't been in the league long enough to put an expectations on these guys, to be quote unquote, Pro Bowl. And I think that's where the divide is. Arthur Smith has been here 3 years and we don't see his offense in its entirety at a point where we feel comfortable to say, yep, there made improvement. But I've seen enough individual development, and this is what we were talking about with Clark Phillips. We see it in Zach Harrison. We see it in Nate Landman. We see it. Drake London has made a drastic improvement. Um, we've seen Tyler Algier, Bijan Robinson have made a step. He's taking a step up. Cordero Hodge is still a guy that's a valuable asset. The offensive line, like we've seen individual development, but I think the thing is a lot of people are putting the team as far as Arthur Smith is concerned on a certain pedestal, and we're yeah, Sam. I think we're putting the offense on a certain pedestal. We're judging the offensive player based on our quote unquote expectations for Arthur Smith. And
And
that's the
even in
frustrating
that
part.
aspect, you have to understand, when it comes to transitional development, when you're coming from an offense coordinator, or special teams coach, or defense coordinator, or position coach to head coach, that is one hell of a damn transition. Okay,
See,
and for you to
Kenneth,
have
this is
success,
see.
it
Thank you.
has to
This is
be
what
a
I'm saying.
perfect
Kenneth is
storm
right
for you
on
to
this.
have success. Okay, immediate success. Okay, and in most cases, even still, when you have that immediate success, you still have to deal with development. You still have to deal with development, and that's the problem with a lot of y'all. Y'all don't want to deal with development. I've seen enough comments, on social media over the last couple of months about we ain't got time to wait. We ain't got time to wait 3 years for a quarterback develop, or wait 2 years for the. Why the hell not? You want this super team. You want this successful team. Then yeah, you got to wait.
You gotta wait. And Kenneth just look. Kenneth just said there's no dispute there. We have an expectation for because Arthur Smith is not where we think he is, and we're saying that because Arthur Smith isn't where we think the offense. We're judging his 3 years. And I don't think it's a fair judgment because not everybody is in year three in this process, and I think that right there is the issue. We're holding the team responsible for Arthur Smith's quote unquote lack of improvement. And that's where I think it's so wrong. And I think it's it's a concept that is an incredibly flawed concept
Yeah,
because
because if you
Bijan is in his
lose,
first year. We can't say, oh, he's in year three because Arthur Smith is in year three. Like it
yeah,
doesn't make
because Nick
sense.
Serrano and Dan Campbell, okay, didn't have to. Their situation was relatively smooth that they walked into, court, what I'm saying, as opposed to what Arthur Smith walked into. And that's the
Hmm.
context of the situation that a lot of people seem to live out when
Exactly,
they
Sam.
when they go to hollering
Exactly.
about, well, you went 7-10 and 70, we can't go 7-10 again. Okay, I'm sorry, neither one of those guys had to dig up money $110 million a dead cap with pitch poor personnel groupings
I
and no way
mean,
to change it.
the thing is too, like this again. This is where we stated. I think everybody's frustration is with Arthur Smith because of your expectations of where Arthur Smith should be. And a lot of times that's not realistic. Like I said, I know y'all don't want to accept this to be a fact, but this is a fact. It's a fact because we have several Hall of Fame coaches that have gone through the struggles, and one of those guys are considered the GOAT, and that's Bill Belichick. He went through hell to get to heaven. Okay, he didn't just become Bill Belichick and the greatest of all time or considered one of the goats. He had to struggle to get there.
But his first
There's
6 years as
cases.
a head coach was garbage.
Hmm.
From Cleveland to New England, it was garbage.
And we still. I'm not even talking about Ritter. We look. This ain't even about Ritter no more. Like everybody keep look. Who cares if Ritter didn't? He gon' look. If he's not the guy, he's gone. Y'all talking about Desmond Ritter? He ain't played. This team won yesterday with Taylor Heineke. So it's not a matter of can he get it done. If we stop making mistakes, we good. Nobody brought up Briss Swan. Nobody brought up Arthur. Nobody brought up Desmond Ritter. Y'all keep bringing up Desmond Ritter and then say there's no improvement. No, because you
Okay.
have an
And
idea.
now, seeing as how you Red Swan, you want to keep doing that, I'm gonna do it again. Okay. You remember Troy Aikman's run? his rookie year.
Oh
Did you
boy,
know Steve
yeah.
Steve Walsh played 3 games in that year and they went 1-15? Okay. I mean, there is no aspect of quarterback improvement in your rookie year. Y'all keep hollering about what he ain't here.
Bill
How do you
Belichick
know?
lost in his first start. Like his first start was actually he got fired from Cleveland. So I don't know. Like y'all gotta see if you gonna have comments, actually know what the fuck you talking about before you have a comment.
Because y'all don't even look at history or understand history. And so many, there have been so many Hall of Fame coaches, Hall of Fame players that have repeatedly said it, but
Hey, hey, and
you all
Terrence Mathis
refuse
did
to
not say
acknowledge it and
that.
understand. You
Terrence Mathis
refuse.
didn't say that. Hold on, Sam. Terrence Mathis say that. I know him personally, and I have his number. That's not what he said. You reconstructed everything he said. He never stated that Arthur Smith was a bad coach. He told me personally when he had a meeting with Arthur Smith. He had a meeting. He told me personally. He told us, Sam, we spent time. All right. I was sitting with this guy about Arthur Smith not being a terrible coach. He's saying he needs to get coaches in there who knows the position better. Okay. Well, that's what he stated. All right. Arthur Smith is not a passing game coordinator. Okay. He's not a passing game. All right. So when you see the struggles with a Desmond Ritter and the struggles of a wide receiving core, that's not.
Bro,
He's
we don't have
trusting
a
his
complete
coaches.
coaching staff, man. We don't have a complete coaching staff. We don't.
He look. He said no. That's not what he said. He didn't say his passing game was a problem. He said the guys. Okay. He said they need to get a wide receiver coach in there. Okay. You can't tell me what he said when I was literally in the room with him when he said it. Okay. He told me verbatim, incomplete. You gotta take pieces of a conversation and say that's what he said. Terrence said that they need to get a wide receiver coach in there to teach these guys how to run the routes properly and to get a passing game coordinator who knows what he's doing because it's not Arthur calling those passing putting together the passing game because he came to Atlanta as a run game coordinator in Tennessee. All right, so he's trusting Dave Ragone and his offensive staff guys to do their. So this goes back to what you were stating that if you don't get it right, he's going to get fired. No, and that's another thing too. I stated uh on channel keys. I don't know how they say name, but I apologize. But yesterday, TJ Yates was actually on the sidelines. Uh, he was on the sidelines talking to the quarterback. So he's already made that adjustment. We know that the quarterback position is a major concern, and developing a quarterback red swarm is a major concern. But that's not something that Arthur Smith, that's not a strength of his. It never was a strength of his. He's relying on his offensive coaches and his quarterback coaches in this instance. They were going to develop Desmond Ritter the proper way, or just any quarterback to develop them a proper way. And that's the same thing with Bill Belichick. He he relied heavily on Josh McDaniels to help develop Tom Brady. Why? Because that's not necessarily his strength. Bill Belichick has always been a defensive guru, so he relies on his coaching staff to do his job. So, like I said, you guys are right when it comes down to Arthur he needs to change something, but that's not him. He's relying on his guys to put the game plan together, and they're not doing their job. And this is why I say Arthur Smith is going to get the blame, and this is why Jew said he's going to get the blame because he's the head guy. And when his guys, they were gone, when his guys, TJ Yates, at the wide receiver coach position, they don't get it right, it's going to make him look bad. So this is what he's talking about. You got like it's misguided energy and it's frustration towards Arthur, but Arthur is the face of the entire staff inability to develop this passing game the proper way. So I hope y'all understood that.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this has been the Christmas edition of Mad Monday with the OG.
Mm-hmm.
With Senator Palpatine in effect to give you his quarterbackism and full game analysis. And I appreciate all at one point 76 to now 66 people eyes on this thing. Y'all please, you know what I'm saying, like the program, share the program, go to my channel OGN TV, you know what I'm saying, and subscribe. I'm 79 away from 200. That's my goal. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get there. This is what we do, how we do when we do it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We try to, you know what I'm saying, inform you, enlighten you, give you the facts, the stats, the truth. And like I always say, you have to keep it real, keep it A, keep it dirty, and most of all, keep it real with yourself. And with that being said, y'all, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Y'all be blessed out there. Be safe out there in this weather, in this rain. And we are out.